Hello, my fellow warriors of light, and welcome to another current energy update for April 19th, 2021. Today I'm at the beautiful Swahani River in northern Florida, and today's episode is going to be on truth. And what is it really? And how many shades of truth are there? And is there actually only one truth? I have an interesting story I was telling my friend yesterday, and it actually made me very emotional. I didn't realize it. When I first moved to my house that I lived in before the one I just moved into, up the street from us was a really beautiful piece of property that he had like a little lake house on. And to the side of it was an open field where I found a ratty, tattered horse, just a raggedy old horse who was neglected and who didn't have any friends. There was no one ever around. No one came to visit him. No one fed him. He had hay he could eat. He had grass and he had water. And the owners did just enough to not get the horse taken and did as little as they could to make sure that horse was suffering by itself in that field. And I befriended this horse. Telepathically, I asked what its name was, and his name was Rodolfo. And so I just called him Rodolfo from that on point. It took me a bit to get him to trust me. He didn't trust humans. I think what I was told was he was a racehorse and that the owner's daughter had bought him from auction after he was done racing at about 2, and he was 33 years old, and she had dumped this horse on this property to be neglected for almost 30 years. 30 years, a neglected horse by himself, didn't trust humans. He had this issue where his hair would just keep growing, like they couldn't even cut it, couldn't shear it, and he had all these types of issues. And so over a year and a half, I formed a relationship with this horse. Reminded me a lot of myself. I was going through my transition and transformation in this ascension. All the relationships in my life were crumbling. My career crumbled, my health crumbled, and all I had left was basically walking around and finding this horse and sharing some sort of energy with it, some sort of love, because I didn't have any love, he didn't have any love, and I guess in a way we found ourselves just kind of filling that void for one another. He'd come up to me once in a while, he wouldn't come up to me other times. He'd let me pet him once in a while, he wouldn't let me pet him other times. I would always take everything personal because it's who I am. A horse doesn't want me to pet him and I'm taking it personal, you know what I mean? So probably part of my decay. So one day I woke up and I hadn't seen the horse in a couple months, I think, because I was going through a lot of pain. I think it was about July, August last year. I was in so much pain, right? I was just in so much pain. I just woke up and I felt like I need to go see this horse. There's something up. I just need to go. So I grabbed breakfast real quick, got some carrots, and I walked to the horse. And as soon as I walk up, he's laying in the field and he's just trying so hard to get up, right? He's just trying so hard to get up and he just can't. What was so crazy to me was about the last time I had saw him, right? The last time I had saw the horse, he was standing by the water trough and he was just shaking and he couldn't breathe because he had apparently a lung tumor and he was just suffocating, literally suffocating on himself, right? Just literally suffocating. And there was nobody there to help him. And I just got imbued with this knowing, right? I got imbued with this knowing that the horse looked me in the eyes in just pure misery and pain. And he just looked at me and he goes, "Please help. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It hurts too much." And here's the thing. The owners wouldn't euthanize the horse. They left him by himself for 6 to 8 months out of the year in 100-degree weather with an overgrown coat. But they couldn't put him out of his misery. So I walk up, I see him in the field, I'm like freaking out, right? Thankfully, the owners are actually there. So I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, I've been coming around a lot, this neglected horse, making sure I put little, and I just, I would like to be here when he goes because, I said I would. I said I would be here for him. And he let me jump the fence and be with him finally, right? And he told me that it was weird that the horse had woke up, or when he got up, the horse had all this energy and he had done a whole lap. Like he ran a whole lap around the, I'm getting emotional. he ran an entire lap around the property like it was his last hurrah. Ugh. And then all of a sudden he ran into the field where he always was, where he knew I'd see him. And he collapsed. And he just kept trying to get up, And I was just trying to calm him down. His fucking fur was disgusting. Like he was he was literally rotting from the outside in and then the inside out. It was just horrible. And so this guy, right? This guy's sitting there and he's saying all these things, making all these excuses of, oh, I tried to take care of him. I did the best I could. I did everything I could. Just speaking his truth, right? It was his truth. His truth was he thought he did the best he could. He thought he did everything he could to give this horse a life that was good. And as I'm listening to him speak his truth and also process the truth, he then looks onto the horse's back and he pulls up a piece of fur, and the entire fur rips up plus his skin, and there's just maggots. There's just maggots eating away at this horse's flesh while he's still alive. Because that owner, who did everything he could to take care of that horse, was left with the truth. And the truth was that he was a horrible, horrible human. His daughter was a horrible human. His wife was a horrible human to this horse. He treated that horse the way he treated himself, and the way he treated his family, and the way he treated everyone in his life, complete with neglect and second thought, like most of us do. We don't even treat ourselves with sheer respect and love. And so how could you tell me, I'm sitting in this field with this horse dying that I spent the last 3 years watching him die, 2 years, and you're telling me you did everything, and then he lifts up, and there's the truth, right, staring in front of his face, and there's no excuse, there's no justification, there's no thing you can say in your head that will deny the truth when it's staring you in the face. I keep hearing a lot about there's multiple truths, everybody has their truths, and this is true. But there's only one truth. And when truth is staring you in the face, there are no words, there are no excuses, and there's no more justifications for who you are, what you are, and why you are here and doing what you're doing, good, bad, or indifferent. And when you're faced with the truth, and you're faced with the illusions that you've been painting for yourself your entire life, you have a choice. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at as a people. There's a choice here. Do we choose truth, or do we choose illusion? Do we choose facts and reality, or do we choose the bullshit we create in our quantum computers that isn't actually us? And here's the other issue about truth, is if this vessel isn't optimized to produce the best experience that you possibly could have by the way you treat it and you love it and you feed it and you do all that, you will live in an illusion regardless of what you think your truth is, because you don't even know what your truth is, because you don't even know how to feel it. All you can feel is the amount of illusion and pain that you shoved inside your body, whether through fat, through tattoos, through piercing, through drugs, alcohol, sex. We wear our illusions. And then we get mad at people for pointing out the truth about us that just pops our illusion, and then we get butthurt about it. And then we do all these things to justify our butthurt and point fingers at everybody else around us because we can't handle our truth. But yet, we want to keep talking about that's all these different types of truths. Everybody has all different types of truths, all different shades of truth. No. There is only one truth. And when it's staring you in the face, there's no denying it. When you hear truth, you can't unhear it. When you see truth, you can't unsee it. When you feel truth, you can't unfeel it. And that is what they're asking us. They're asking us, the starseeds, to be the truth, to be the illusion breakers, to be the light bearers and the harbingers of truth and reality and love. Because that's the difference, is illusion is fear, separation. Truth is love. And here's the issue about our families and all of these things we create. Oh, this person makes me feel this way, and this person makes me feel that way, and this person's like that, and this person's like this. No. You're like all those things, and the only thing you can see is what's being projected onto you, or you're projecting onto others. So the only way we can actually see what's going inside our bodies, because we don't take the time to self-reflect and think about the things that we do, that when a truth comes, it hits us right in the face, and we get butthurt, we get angry. And if you've donned a victim mindset your whole life, you will find ways to take that truth and package it up and pack it away and then create some magic around it to make yourself feel better about your truth. The truth is, when we don't speak our truth, we die. Because all truth is love. And when you don't let love and truth flow through your vehicle, through your vessel, it accumulates in the fascia system. And that turns into body fat. Or if you use a coping and distractive mechanism, then it turns into whatever that coping and distracting mechanism is. If you drink, it becomes liver problems. If you smoke, you put your grief, you put your illusions in your lungs. If you work out, you have pain, shoulder pain. That was me. I worked all of my illusions. I took 25 years of traumatic illusion and I built a body with it. And my body died. I died. And I had to become a whole new human being in truth in order to survive. And that's what they're asking us as the starseeds, as the way showers, as the light bringers, is they're not asking you to point out the truth to everybody. They're asking you to point out the truth to yourself, heed it and accept it, and grow from it. How the heck are we supposed to way show if we're bullshitting ourselves still? That's where we're at. Truth or illusion. There's no better energy in the world than pure truth and love. It's flow, it's free. You don't think, you just do, you just be. It's called belief for a reason. Being and living. Belief. And when we're not being and living our truth, we get anxiety. Because anxiety is illusion. And we create all this mania in our head about all these fucking storylines and narratives about shit that doesn't matter, because it hasn't materialized, it's in the past or the present. Instead of actually focusing on and doing what's in front of us, which is take care of our fucking selves. Take care of ourselves to the point that we don't live in our illusions anymore. And by us breaking our illusions, we will shatter the illusions of everyone around us. And you're seeing it happening. And here's the thing. You can't force somebody to break their illusion. You can't tell somebody to change their illusions. You cannot. You cannot. Because as soon as you start telling somebody else what to do, you're not doing it for yourself. It's time to live in our truth, guys. If you believe you're a warrior of light, if you believe you're an angelic, higher consciousness, starseed way shower, what are you waiting for? If there's something you want to do, like you just really want to do, what are you thinking about? You've been thinking about it your whole life. Your whole life. So all we've done is think, plan and plot, strategize, gossip, talk shit, and not do any of it. And then get mad at the people who are doing all of it, who are better off than we are, because we can't break our illusions, so we project all of our shit onto everyone and everything outside of us. It makes you feel good for a second, and then you don't get anywhere. And everyone's wondering why our world is the way it is. It's because you are the way you are. And until we can hold complete accountability, responsibility for ourselves on our path without worrying about anyone else, living in our truth no matter what, I'm not saying be mean about it, But when you speak truth and your intention is to love through that truth, if somebody else takes it the wrong way, that's their butthurt. It's not your job to help people accept the truth. You can't package the truth. The truth is in block letters, Times New Roman, 12 font, capital, truth. And then illusion is in some cursive little pretty font with little spazzle razzle dazzles. It's a brand. Illusion's a brand, truth is what it is. And that's what I've been realizing is I've been trying to package my truth for the last 3.5 years. I've been trying to package my truth to everybody's ego. I've been trying to package my truth to everybody's illusions because I was living in the illusion that my truth, the way it is, how it is, isn't good enough. Because my illusion was I wasn't good enough and that I needed to do more, be more, see more, achieve more before people would accept my truth. But the illusion I was living in was I didn't accept my truth. I wasn't true to myself, and I was still hurting myself. So I was creating all these illusions, projecting it out there in hopes I would figure it out. And I did. And it almost killed me 2 or 3 times. I know there's many of you that are here too. And I know there's many of you who are going through it. And I know there's many of you that have gone very far on your path. And some of this may trigger you and some of this may piss you off. But here's the thing. You're still living in an illusion if you're not doing what you love every single moment of every single day. And doing what you love can be something as easy as, I don't want to do anything today, and not feeling bad about it. Guilt, illusion. Shame, illusion. Trauma, it's an illusion. It's real, it needs to be dealt with, right? But they're all illusions covering up the perfection that we are. Because there's this idea that we can reach perfection, like it's something you can aspire to. In reality, we are already perfect, and the only illusion is trying to aspire to something that we already are. If you would realize today, for yourself, and accept and choose that you are perfect, and that your truth is perfect, and that you're a human on a sojourn, and you're gonna make mistakes, and things are gonna happen, and shit's gonna hit the fans, you're gonna get emotional, and you're still perfect, then what the fuck are we talking about? What are we arguing about? What are we trying to force our illusions onto everybody else? And it doesn't do anything. But yet we keep doing it. We keep putting on our masks thinking that it's going to either save us from something or you're protecting somebody's feelings. I'm going to put on a mask. Think about this illusion. I'm going to put on a mask to save somebody from their illusion. I'm going to put on a mask because I don't want to ruffle somebody's illusion. And you're a light warrior? You're a harbinger of light? You're a truth bringer? You're a way shower? Okay. Every time you don't do something that you know you need to do for yourself because you're scared, so you choose illusion over truth, it becomes something else you have to let go of and take care of. And if you don't, it will eventually become something physical you have to deal with. Energy gets stuck because we don't live our truth, and it becomes cancer, it becomes fibromyalgia, it becomes emphysema, it becomes carpal tunnel. Illusion leads to inflammation, truth leads to freedom. When we're inflamed, we're angry, and we're all... It's time to live in our truth, guys. That's it. There's 5Ds here. We're already ascended. We've already awakened. We've already remembered. There's always going to be more to do. But when are we going to start being? When are we going to start living our truth? And whatever that truth is in every moment of every day. And being okay when we don't live in the truth and we find ourselves in the illusion because we need the contrast to go back to the truth. We need to stop taking life so serious and take ourselves a little more serious, especially the self-relationship, because we're not these bodies. We're not these minds. We're not these thoughts. We're perfection. In human form, on a sojourn, to help Mother Gaia ascend and to turn our collective into the Gaian collective. That's where we're heading, guys. The Sirians, the Andromedans, the Palladians, what are we? The Milky Wayans? No. The Earthlings? No. Pretty sure we're the Gaians. That's where we're at. I'm ready. I'm already a Gaian. I'm already an Earth I'm an Earth citizen. I'm a citizen of Earth, man. I'm a Gaian. I'm not an American anymore. I live in America. I love America. I have my flag on my wall. I'm a United States Marine. My human will always be an American, and my human will always be a United States Marine. But me, as this new being, not just the human, but the human being, the one that's lived thousands of sojourns before, who's remembered who he is, what he is, and why he's here, he's a Gaian. And that's what we're building. That's what the Army of Energy is. We are going to stand in our truth like the lions that we are, and we're going to build Earth up to become an entire collective for all of us to thrive in as we go amongst the stars, a collective race, another collective species to help harmonize this grand, perfect symphony in the universe. And that's what this entire experiment in lower consciousness was for, was so that humanity can rise up in both spirit and form to the truth of who they are and become the Gaian collective to go teach the universe, the cosmos, our frequency of love, our frequency of truth. And until you're living in your complete truth and complete love of yourself every moment of every day, you're just here and you're not helping. It doesn't matter how many people you help. It doesn't matter how many people you take the shirt off your back or take a coat off and put it over a puddle so a lady can walk across it. It doesn't matter if you're not doing it for yourself. If you're a Reiki master not giving yourself Reiki healing, you're failing. If you're a tarot card reader not pulling tarot for yourself, you're failing. If you're a nutritionist and you're not following your own nutrition, you're failing. There is only one experience, and that's the experience we're having within ourselves, and then we equate that to what's happening on the outside, and we see what's reflecting back to us, and then there we can start to kind of determine what's really going on. But unless we have that truth going through us and flowing through us at all times, all we're going to have is illusion, and because all illusion is fear and separation, everything's going to make us scared. Everything's going to make us afraid, especially speaking our truth and standing in our truth like a lion. And truth doesn't need to be defended because the truth is what it is. Illusion needs to be sold. Illusion needs to be packaged. Illusion needs to be razzle-dazzled to get people in their heads and out of their hearts. But the truth hits you right in the heart. And it's time we start living in our hearts, especially as the star seeds, especially as the way showers, and especially as the light warriors. So this week, I challenge you to live in your truth. Think about the one thing that pisses you off more than anything. That's your biggest illusion. If you can walk through that illusion this week, watch the rest of the illusions fall by the wayside. And for us, the empaths, most of them it's with other people in their relationships because we yet don't have that same relationship with ourselves. So, if you liked what you've seen and heard today, hit that like button. If you want to join the Army of Energy, hit that subscribe button. You can find me on Telegram, Instagram, and Facebook. Links down below. If you want to donate to my work, I would be so grateful. I am building this Army of Energy. We are turning Mother Gaia into the Gaian collective, and every cent, every dollar will help me, help us do whatever it is that I'm meant to do. Because I'm still figuring out, everyone, and I'm not perfect, and I still live in illusions, and I have to check them all the time. But this is what we're doing, and this is what I'm doing, and I can really use your help. And if you want to be a part of the Army of Energy beyond just donating or giving or just participating, I'm looking for people to make content. I'm looking for people to speak their truth. I'm looking for healers. I'm looking for vendors. I'm looking for holistic, heart-centered entrepreneurs who want to create something new and something different that's better and more in alignment with who we're becoming as a collective species. That's what the Army of Energy is about. So, with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have an even better evening. And I will see you all at the same time next week. Take care and goodbye.